At Saturday night's main event, 2024, Cody Rhodes defended his coveted undisputed WWE Championship against the ever-dangerous Kevin Owens in what became a brutal and high-stakes battle. The stakes couldn't have been higher, as both competitors pushed their limits in an all-out war. Every move was calculated, every moment was filled with tension, and each near fall sent waves of excitement through the crowd. After a grueling back and forth, Cody Rhodes stood victorious, retaining his title in an incredible display of resilience and strength. But what should have been a triumphant night for the American Nightmare quickly turned to a nightmare of its own. As the bell rang and the arena erupted in cheers, Kevin Owens, seething with frustration over his defeat, launched a sudden and savage attack from behind. Without warning, Owens delivered a devastating package pile driver, sending shockwaves through the ring and leaving Rhodes motionless in the center. The once vibrant champion now lay helpless, a grim reminder of the lengths Owens was willing to go to claim victory, even at the cost of his own integrity. The chaotic scene unfolded before the stunned crowd as paramedics rushed to check on Cody. His body was a crumpled heap, the toll of the match leaving him unresponsive. With extreme caution, they placed him on a stretcher and rushed him to an awaiting ambulance, the weight of the moment sinking in as medical personnel hovered over him, monitoring his every breath. WWE quickly issued a statement confirming that Cody had sustained injuries during the vicious attack, leaving fans and experts alike on edge. The question on everyone's mind: how serious were these injuries? Amid the medical chaos, Owens, seemingly unfazed, took the opportunity to claim the Winged Eagle Championship, the very title Rhodes had brought out as a tribute to the legends of the past. It was a symbol of respect, an iconic piece of WWE history, and Kevin Owens now held it in his hands, his smirk as sharp as a knife. But his victory was short-lived. As Owens made his way up the ramp, carrying the stolen championship, he was confronted by none other than Triple H, WWE's CCO. In an unprecedented show of fury, Triple H shoved Owens, his anger palpable. The Game, usually known for his calculated demeanor, was visibly enraged, and the fans could feel the tension thick in the air. The altercation left many wondering if Triple H would exact punishment on Owens for this malicious behavior. Could a suspension be in the works? Or perhaps something even more significant? The next edition of SmackDown might hold the answers, as Owens, never one to stay quiet, could drop a bombshell revelation. What if he had been working with a secret ally all along? Someone who had been pulling strings behind the scenes, orchestrating this entire chaos. And that ally, as shocking as it may sound, could be Triple H himself, the mind behind the throne, the architect of WWE's corporate power. What if Owens, the same man who once fought against authority, was now teaming up with it to create a new, more ruthless faction? A revival of the Authority, but this time led by Kevin Owens and orchestrated by the CCO himself. The rivalry between Owens and Cody Rhodes has a deep and bitter history. From the moment Cody left AEW, making bold public statements and hammering away at Triple H's throne, quite literally, he ignited a firestorm. His entrance music even contained cryptic lyrics, possibly aimed at Triple H and the McMahon family. What if this was all part of a grander plan? A masterstroke to break the system from the inside out? Imagine the possibilities. Triple H, once the face of the establishment, turning heel to align himself with Owens, guiding him through the darkest corridors of power. This could add a new layer of complexity to their rivalry, turning it into a battle for control that stretches beyond the ring and into the very heart of WWE itself. The stakes would be higher than ever before. But what about Cody Rhodes? After the vicious attack, fans are left wondering how long the American Nightmare will be sidelined. The brutal assault from Owens left him incapacitated, and although it's unclear whether Cody suffered real injuries or if it's all part of the storyline, the uncertainty looms large. WWE has yet to release any concrete details regarding the severity of Rhodes' condition. For now, the speculation runs wild. Some say he could be off television for weeks, while others predict an explosive rematch in the coming months. WWE Raw, set to air in January 2025, could mark the moment of Cody's dramatic return, possibly setting up a showdown with Kevin Owens at the Raw season premiere on Netflix, just days before the new year kicks off. But whether this is all just wishful thinking or part of a larger creative plan is anyone's guess. The creative team at WWE, led by Triple H, has kept fans on the edge of their seats, and no one knows exactly where this thrilling saga will go next. Will Cody Rhodes fight back, seeking revenge for the devastating betrayal? Or will Kevin Owens continue his dark path, with Triple H at his side? In the wake of these shocking events, the landscape of WWE has begun to shift. Fans who were once accustomed to the dominance of Roman Reigns and Rhea Ripley now find themselves questioning everything. There are whispers in the locker room of a potential return, a name that could change the power dynamics once again. But this time, it's not just about reclaiming power, it's about something much darker, much more sinister. For weeks now, Kevin Owens has seemed different. Gone is the loudmouth rebel who thrived on chaos. In his place stands a more methodical, calculating figure. Something has changed and the questions are piling up. What does Owens want? Why has he been meeting in secret with shadowy figures? The tension was palpable as Kevin Owens stepped into the ring on a particularly heated episode of Monday Night Raw, microphone in hand, ready to make a statement. With a scornful look, he addressed the audience. "People think they know Kevin Owens," he began, his voice dripping with disdain. "They think they know what I'm about. The loudmouth, the rebel, the guy who fights against the system. Well, I've been doing that for years. And what's it gotten me? A few championships? Some memorable moments? Sure, but it's not enough. It never was." The crowd hung on his every word, the air thick with anticipation. Owens continued, his voice growing darker. "The real power in this company isn't what you've seen. It's something none of you have ever seen. While you've all been cheering for your heroes, I've been making deals. Deals that will change everything." The arena fell silent, the fans unsure of what they were about to witness, and just when it seemed Owens would reveal his next move, the lights flickered. The haunting, familiar music began to play, and the crowd erupted in a mixture of confusion and disbelief. Triple H, the man who had once controlled the very fabric of WWE, walked onto the stage. The game had returned, but this wasn't just a cameo. He was back, and he had a message. Standing beside Owens, Triple H spoke, his voice cold and calculated. "You've got it all wrong, Kevin. This isn't about loudmouths and rebels anymore. This is about power, real power. And when you want to control everything, you need to align yourself with those who know how to manipulate the system." The audience gasped, their minds reeling at what they were witnessing. Kevin Owens, the once anti-authority figure, was now standing side by side with the very man who had created the corporate empire of WWE. Triple H and Kevin Owens, two men who had once stood on opposite sides of the fence, now joined in a sinister partnership. The message was clear: control the power or be crushed under it. The Authority had long been a defining force in WWE, a dark chapter in its history where chaos and control reigned supreme. masterminded from behind the curtain by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Their reign had once been built on manipulation, coercion, and the crushing of anyone who dared to challenge them. But now, with the alliance between Owens and Triple H rekindled, things were about to take a much darker turn. The Authority had evolved. It was no longer just about bending the talent to their will. It was about total control, power, influence. Every decision, every match, every championship reign would be dictated by Kevin Owens and Triple H, and they weren't interested in following the rules anymore. They wanted to define them. Over the following weeks, Owens and Triple H worked in tandem, quietly pulling in allies from every corner of WWE. But this was not the same Authority that had controlled WWE in years past. No, this was something different. This was a group carefully curated for not just loyalty, but ruthlessness. Each member chosen not for their allegiance, but for their willingness to bend or break the rules in service of the greater goal. Kevin Owens had undergone a transformation. No longer the loudmouthed rebel who thrived on chaos, he was now a mastermind, a calculated, strategic force capable of manipulating the system. With Triple H by his side, the two of them began to target WWE's biggest stars, promising power, opportunity, and riches in exchange for one thing: loyalty. But the price of loyalty was steep, and everyone knew it. Seth Rollins, who had once been a member of the Authority, found himself ensnared in their web once again. The former architect of the Shield had long prided himself on his ability to manipulate the system. But he could see the writing on the wall now. Owens and Triple H were offering him a way back to the top, a direct path to reclaim his position as the centerpiece of WWE. Rollins, ever the opportunist, hesitated. He had seen firsthand the cost of working for the Authority: the lies, the manipulation, the endless backstabbing. But as the days passed, the allure of power grew stronger. In the end, he couldn't resist. With a cold, calculating decision, Seth Rollins joined the fold, aligning himself with Kevin Owens and Triple H. The line between enemies and allies had blurred, and Rollins was now part of something far more dangerous than ever before. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn, Owens' longtime friend and occasional rival, remained hesitant. He had witnessed the devastation the Authority had caused in the past. He had seen the friendships destroyed, the careers shattered. The thought of joining this new regime gnawed at him. But Triple H and Kevin Owens were skilled in persuasion, offering promises of power, influence, and a chance to rise to the top like never before. After a series of emotionally charged conversations, Sami Zayn finally found himself swayed. He joined the Authority, not out of loyalty, but out of necessity. Zayn saw the writing on the wall. The world of WWE was changing, and if he didn't align himself with Owens and Triple H, he would be left behind in the wake of their rise to power. But the Authority's plans didn't stop with the wrestlers. Triple H and Kevin Owens knew that to truly control WWE, they needed to infiltrate every corner of the company, especially its backstage operations. They needed control over the officials, the match stipulations, the very structure that kept everything running. Adam Pearce, WWE's official and usually the voice of reason, found himself drawn into their manipulative web. Owens and Triple H promised him more power, a larger role within WWE, and control over the most important decisions in the company. They had played their hand expertly, and Pearce, too, was forced to bend the knee. Now, the Authority controlled not just the talent, but the very heart of WWE itself.